Hi folks, my name's Lee, and I want to talk to you this morning about something that's really been near and dear to my heart. Lately I've just really had a struggle with what's been going on. I have lots of friends on Facebook and things like that, and I've been watching all these different things happening where those who believe that the existing president should continue to be president versus those who think we need a new president. I'm watching a lot of stuff happen between my friends on Facebook. I'm watching a lot of stuff happen between my friends who call themselves believers. So this morning I woke up from this dream, and in this dream it was kind of an unusual dream. Many of my friends would know that I'm a history buff. So imagine if you had a dream about something that was coming out of the woods and it was frightening to people. Because I'm a history buff, many people know that I just love everything about history. I like going places, I like studying things. When I was a child, my mom taught us about history by taking us to places. So, if it was the Battle of Lexington and Concord, or it was, going to Gettysburg and things like that, it was a big deal. The fact that my mom's maiden name is Lee, and yes, there is a relationship to Robert E. Lee, which is where I get my name, it's pretty important to me. So in this dream, I find myself, I recognize that I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm with this young couple, and they have a couple of children. And what they're doing is they're getting ready to make preparation for a picnic. So I'm looking around, and I see them putting out the picnic. They're putting out like a checker, a red checker board square blanket, and they're getting ready, and the children are off playing by the wilderness. And all of a sudden I begin to hear things. I start to hear things like, I hear mercy and justice. I start hearing the sounds of battle. I start hearing the sounds of people dying, people retching as they were getting sick. And I start to think, am I the only one hearing that? I remember one of the thoughts I had was, my gold is not valuable. My gold is not valuable, and I remember having this nugget bracelet on my hand, which is kind of weird because I haven't worn one of those for like 20 years. But I remember thinking, gold is not valuable. And I remember wanting to walk over towards the people who were putting out the picnic table, but it was clear they were starting to hear it too. There was something in the atmosphere. You could hear trumpets, you could hear horses, you could hear the galloping of hooves on the land, you could hear a sound in the ground. Justice and mercy. And then a few moments later, I realized that the children who were near the edge of the woods started to hear something too, and they started to look back at their parents, and there was a look of trepidation that began to come over them. And I woke up from the dream. I was like, God, what is this all about? And all of a sudden I realized that I wasn't just in Pennsylvania, but I was hearing the Civil War. I was hearing Gettysburg. I was hearing battle. I was hearing all these things. And as I went to take a shower this morning, I just began to meditate on how out of touch I feel with what's going on. I don't want my friends to battle over whether they're Democratic or Republican, or they're voting for Obama or Romney, or even Gary Richardson or another third-party candidate. I don't want us battling over whether or not it's this move of God or it's that move of God that's important. I'm tired of culture wars. I'm tired of race wars. I won't lie to you. I feel the last 3 or 4 years have stirred up a lot of that. I don't care what side of the coin you're on. I'm just telling you, I really feel strongly that we are on the cusp of something that could morph rapidly into civil war. And civil war is two cultures, not two cultures, but two groups of people against one another within a country. My relative was Robert E. Lee. My mom was from Virginia area. She had family that worked that owned plantations. I've had a lot of interesting things happen over the years. Even as my daughter prepares to marry a man of color, a man from Haiti, I know there's a lot of controversy over these things. And yet I'm going to tell you, it's not just about race. It's about culture. It's about money. It's about those that have versus those that don't. I would say to you that the answer to all this is it's about time the church would get off its high horse and it would begin to move out into the communities. We're not going to take it by a national election necessarily, but we can take it by our communities. Instead of spending the amounts of time we do in meetings and things like that and strategizing, I'm saying skip the strategy. Let's just go do what Jesus told us to do. I am very concerned about this. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a man who ponders things. I don't say things lightly. I kid around about a lot of things, but I'm a man who has children. I have 5 children and I have 4 grandchildren, and I suspect it's not going to end with 4 grandchildren, nor is it going to end with just grandchildren. So even as I'm talking to you, I'm looking at a box of Lincoln Logs, and it says Fort Hudson. Our nation has a rich and powerful history. Not all of it is good. Not all of it is birth without bloodshed. Not all of it has the ramifications of goodness. We're not, God is not American. God is God. And I just encourage my friends who have been, making posts on Facebook and being very upset and angry with others who don't agree and all this craziness. I'm here to tell you it's time to stop it. If you value my friendship, my fellowship, and the words I have to say, I'm saying it's time to put down the weapons of our warfare that are destroying those about us, and it's time to go forth with the favor of the Lord upon us, to go do that which we've been called to do. Even as I heard Bill Johnson say today, I don't even care if you like him or don't like him, he said, I am the Father. I have one life to live the life as the Father did. He speaks of Father God as the one who gave his only begotten Son. I'm a father. I can't imagine giving up my son, but I can't imagine giving up my life to be a representation of Father God here on earth, and I fully intend and plan to do that. So when I heard him say that, it just bore witness in my heart. So I would like to avoid a civil war. I think civil war is really an oxymoron. All wars, I feel, are uncivil. So today, give some consideration to getting out in your community and impacting those around you. Lay down the weapons of your warfare that are carnal. Pick up the ones that are spiritual and live the life that God gave you through the finished work of Jesus Christ. Thanks. God bless you.